Hello. Hoping you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me or not. Yeah, okay, cool. Just making sure. Haven't streamed in a while, so figured I'd go ahead and do a quick stream here. Get the fuck away from me, fly. Um, so yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm here to pretty much answer anything. How many push-ups can you do in a row? I haven't done that in a while. I would probably say, I don't even know, maybe like 40-ish, 50-ish. Martine, what do you do in a typical day? So, I've been a little bit more busy recently because I'm focusing a little bit more on the business side of things. So I'll usually like wake up. I like to work out either like a couple hours after I wake up or work out directly after I wake up. Do that, come back, do any sort of like recording and stuff. And then it really depends on the day. Also, make sure that I'm keeping track of my community members as well as making sure my one-on-one clients are doing well. So little things like that. So I've been trying to be more productive. So, Martine, what do you? Oh yeah, I answered that one. Does Moises Caicedo lean physique help him be the best midfielder in the world? I believe so, or in the Premier League, but I think in the world. But yeah, I believe so. Um, what are your thoughts about heavy sandbag training? I think it's pretty unique. I think it can be beneficial for particular aspects, like like core training, little stuff like that, and also like even rotation training to a particular degree. I personally don't use it just because it's just not that common. How's your posture journey going? Pretty good. I'm on my third month right now, so I'm hoping that I'll be good in like a month or two, and then I can go back to normal training. But it's pretty good. I've been learning a lot, so that's definitely a big reason why I've been enjoying it. Thoughts on weighted calisthenics? I mean, weighted calisthenics, just if you're hitting your movements, it's fine. It's nothing like crazy where it's like, oh, weighted calisthenics, like it's better than this. It's like it's a great exercise. You're using your own body weight, so it's good, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do normal weights. High or low volume if I'm trying to build strength? Low volume. It's very fatiguing. Post-workout nutrition. Martina, I have a question regarding post-workout nutrition. I go to training quite far away from my home, so I get home about 40 minutes after training. What protein sources can I take with me? Well, you want to have carbs. That's the most important thing. So maybe have some sort of like fruits or any sort of like carb, even supplement, but you want to be thinking more carbs. Martine, how can I build self-confidence, get rid of self-esteem issues? My brother Mario is going to be better for that, so I would probably ask him or go look at his videos. What's your diet like now? Do you eat organic, grass-fed, raw? Or what? Oh, I eat a lot of fruits, and then a lot of eggs, and then grass-fed steak is one of my go-tos. You F with kettlebells? I think they can be beneficial. I don't really use them that much for like lifting, but I'll use them a lot for like particular leg exercises if it just feels more comfortable, or like farmer carries, things like that. Can we see a Mario versus Martine strength challenge update? I haven't been able to train bilaterally, so I'd probably get smoked on that right now. Are plyometrics good for teenagers? I mean, they're good for everybody. I goon 4 times today. Will I lose muscle? Probably not, but you shouldn't be doing that. Why is lower stomach area so hard to lose? I can see my progress, but it's just so long because that's like one of the last places to lose fat. So if you're trying to lose fat, regardless of who you are, that's going to be the last places. That's why it's hard for people to lose that fat there and like in the love handles and stuff. It's just one of the last places. What do you think about diet drinks? Many people drink and I think they're healthy, but I don't know what diet drinks are. You think Chelsea FC is going to win the Club World Cup? I do think so. What are your 3 foods for building muscle? Grass-fed steak, probably number 1. Probably sweet potato for the carbs, but I'm not a big fan of sweet potato, but if you like it, I think that'd be huge. And then probably eggs. Do you play football? I did. I was on a team, but they didn't want to go again for this next season. So I'm hoping to go on to another team soon because I really like playing. Martin, what are your thoughts on swimming? I find it more enjoyable than running. I think when it comes to cardio, it's important to do a variety. So I definitely, whenever I move to like a new apartment, I'm gonna do a lot of swimming, maybe do some rock climbing, maybe join like a run club. Like it's really good to just do a variety of different, not just cardio methods, but exercise in general, like even lifting. How many sets to failure? It depends on the entire thing, but in my opinion, I just try and train hard, and I kind of like go to failure sometimes. I kind of don't. I don't really overthink it too much. That might not be the question or the answer you're looking for. Whoops. Hussein Farhad Natty, definitely not, bro. What Martin? Do you have 4 best exercises for rugby players? For rugby players, it's going to be a lot of strength stuff. So probably like I would say probably like a trap bar deadlift would be good. Bench press for sure would be good. Um, like heavy rowing, stuff like that. I'm not like I've never really played rugby, so I don't know the demands too much. But those are like my immediate thoughts. Having really fast protein isn't that important. Um, it is a little bit important, but it's not like you have to have it right after. Like I think the 40 minutes is fine, but ideally maybe even have like a quick whey protein shake after your training. How much do you think you should run, and how intense to lose weight? How much do you think you should run? Well, that's the thing. Are you lifting weights too? It's just not really a black and white kind of thing. Thoughts on Ilya Apturo? I think he probably will become one of the best fighters of all time. Uh, Amy Sharma, appreciate the comment, bro. I hope I said your name right. What do you think about fruit pre and post workout as carb sources compared to processed pretzels? That's what I do. I make a protein shake with fruit, with orange juice actually as the liquid. I know that sounds kind of weird, but trust me, it actually works well. What are the best exercises for sprinting? Probably sprinting, I would say. But in terms of it, the gym, probably any sort of like unilateral leg exercise, I would say, like single leg RDL, lunges, split squats, stuff like that. And then, of course, do your plyometrics. Nice beard, man. Appreciate it. It's starting to grow in a little bit. My brother's got in first, but I'm looking at the wrong side. There we go. It's like almost there. Still kind of in the awkward phase a little bit, but it's almost there. Hey bro, how's your training going? Going pretty good. Right now I'm doing my rehab program, so haven't really done too much like proper hypertrophy training. So I'm on week 10 now. I'm doing 3 days lifting and then 2 days of cardio right now. Do you play Battlefront? No, but I appreciate also that question. Whoever did it, it kind of went down a little bit. Jeez. Oh, here we go. How can I get my squat up? Squat more often. Make sure you're actually doing strength dosages. Can you build strength and power in season? In season, no. You should not be doing that. How to combine soccer, weights, combat, walking? Ooh, that's a lot of stuff, dude. So that's going to be tough. Thoughts on Leon Edwards' fall off? I mean, I wouldn't call it fall off, but every champion ends up losing. So it happens. Is it possible to gain muscles as a beginner despite eating below your BMR? Probably, but it's not optimal, and it's not something you should strive to do. Is it truth that it's very hard to change your sprint speed and that it's very genetic? It is very genetic. You can improve it a good bit by making sure you do power training, sprint training, and then also improving technique and stuff. But stuff like anaerobic stuff like that is just super, super genetic. Tips for skinny teen athletes trying to stop looking like sticks. I mean, it's if you're saying an athlete, are you prioritizing athleticism or are you prioritizing, putting on size? Do you like Gregory Doucette? No, I think his content is really lazy and he doesn't actually give people good fitness advice. He's just really invested into the drama. Do you watch any other combat sports other than MMA? No. Maybe like every once in a while, like a big boxing fight, but I don't really like boxing, to be honest. Let's see. Hope you're doing okay. Chelsea needs your prayers. Hopefully, Chelsea wins the Club World Cup. What are your opinions on overcoming isometrics for strength? They can be beneficial, but if you actually want to improve dynamic strength, obviously the best way to do that is to actually train that dynamic strength. Tips. Let's see. Is pasta good for the bulk? Yeah, I would say it is, but I've honestly saw better progress when I stopped eating pasta. Why is standing overhead press so hard to progress in terms of strength compared to other lifts like bench press? Well, bench press, deadlift, and squat all use way more muscles and stronger muscles, so it's obviously going to be smaller. Let's. Can I be on a strength phase while on a cut, or will I just end up maintaining? I want to lose about 10 pounds. I mean, you can do whatever on a cut, but your progress isn't going to be as good. Thoughts on contrast training? I actually really like it, and that's usually the way that I'll program power training for anyone that I'm working with. Thoughts on Lucas Tracy? I watch his content. I think his content's good. We all love you, Martine. You and your brother helping raise the younger generation and making them better. Appreciate it. That's the goal. What about sprinting? I think when people asking about the sprinting, you're too invested in sprinting. Weightlifting is meant to get your muscles stronger so you can sprint faster, but you got to actually do your sprints. Your sprints is what are really going to make you faster. Thoughts on Lucas Tracy's physique? I think I've seen it a little bit. It's very impressive. Why does it take so long to increase weight on lateral raises? Because it's an isolation exercise and you're isolating a small muscle. Use minoxidil. I have been using minoxidil. That's why it's growing. I keep doing the wrong side. It's a freaking camera. But yeah, I have been using minoxidil, so it's been growing a little bit better. I think this side grows a little bit better, but probably like a couple weeks or so, maybe it'll end up being full. So contrast training is a strength exercise followed by an explosive equivalent. Hey, Martinez, is it fine to train back and shoulders daily? Yeah, if you're not doing enough intensity, which is AKA no, it's not. Appreciate it. Yeah, my friend helped me with my fashion because my fashion freaking sucks. So I just asked him to help me out. Did you find God? I've always believed in God, but I'm closer with God now. What style karate did you train? I did Taekwondo. Trying to. UFC is not having a pay-per-view in September. Usually they'll sometimes announce them late. How do you improve hip flexor strength and endurance? You train your hip flexors. And if you want endurance, you're higher reps, shorter rest time. You need to 1v1 Mario again in basketball or soccer. Last time we tried to record basketball, but it didn't end up being so good. But I whooped his ass in basketball. Soccer is a little bit weird because you got to find a good goalie. Yeah, so Ashton Hall is not athletic, man. Only sprinting cannot make you athletic. I think he's just naturally just very genetically gifted. But I mean, if you're only good at sprinting, I would say you're probably sprinting is athletic, but if you're only good at sprinting, then obviously it doesn't encompass all aspects of athleticism. Who do you think will sign Victor Gilchrist? I think Man United probably will. Any advice on how to get to start making YouTube content to get big? First, just start. That's although that sounds super easy and super simple, a lot of people don't do that. And the other thing is, attention is very important. So, even if there's times where I'll be like, oh, this stupid bodybuilder, do I want to say that necessarily? No, I'm a pretty chill guy, but if that's what gets people to stay and watch the videos, then you got to do that. And then also, go in with the intention that you're going to make it work. So many people create content and they're like, oh, let me see if this works out. And with that mentality, you're not going to get it to work. What do you think the most overrated exercise is? That's a good one. I would have to go with each muscle group, but That's a tough one. I don't know. How can you combine MMA and gym? You got to pick one to prioritize. So when people ask questions of I'm this and I bench press this, those are subjective questions. If you're asking for my input, that means that you are looking for external validation. You should just accept and be proud of what your accomplishments are. What's your degree in? My degree is in exercise science. Who's your favorite fitness YouTuber, barring your brother? Honestly, like we met the Aiden Ross's trainer. His name is Mac, and he's cool, but he doesn't really do content like that. I don't know, dude. I feel like a lot of people in the fitness space are quite, I guess, quite fake, and a lot of them also preach like these a lot of vanity. They don't preach actual fitness. Why do I sometimes feel 5 times weaker on one workout, but I feel stronger on another one? That's a question that you're gonna have to figure out. Are you eating well? Are you sleeping well? Are you training at a different time? Are you training too much? Or you're not allowing enough recovery? I like your chain, appreciate it. Yeah, I never used to really wear chains, but yeah, like I said, my friend told me that I needed to get one, so I think it helps, makes me look a little bit cooler. How to improve mental clarity and focus? Meditation, most likely. Thoughts on dumbbell only push pull leg split? I mean, if you only have access to dumbbells, I guess that's good. Do you know that Jack's Fit guy? Not personally, no. I can't hit 120 grams protein a day. I only get 80. Is protein really important? I mean, all the macronutrients are important, but protein is easy to get in, so I'm surprised you're not getting enough. Should I train abs? I like to train core stability more. What do you think about vegans? I think you're limiting yourself. I'm not a big fan of that diet. Um, I didn't know you stream. Does your brother stream too? I don't usually stream, but I decided I would start streaming. Maybe at least just I don't know. I think streaming is cool. I think it also gets my personality out there a little bit more instead of just like saying stuff on camera that even just particular topics and stuff. So yeah, I might do it more often, but I definitely want. I felt like streaming today, so I was like, why not? Are exercises like bench press bad for soccer players? No, they're good. What plyometric exercises should I combine with sprinting? A lot of plyometric exercises, a lot of legs, even upper body. It's important to be powerful. But again, I'm more of a strength and conditioning coach for like soccer, basketball, MMA, not like direct like track and field. Because let's be honest, a lot of track and field stuff is going to be on field work. Talk about kudos. I would love to have him at Chelsea. What are your thoughts on Nate Belmar health and fitness content? I think he has some good advice, but then some stuff is just a little bit strange. Why is your brother racist and only glazes white girls? How? First of all, he's not racist, and how is glazing white girls racist? It's just a personal preference. Um, let's see. Why do you not like Jeff Nippard? I don't dislike Jeff Nippard. I wouldn't say I like him. I'm kind of indifferent to him. I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but there are also a lot of stuff I do agree with. Your shoulders look amazing. Appreciate it. I haven't actually trained shoulders because my trainer told me not to do lateral raises because it might fuck with my neck a little bit. So I actually haven't done lateral raises in a while. See, like, I don't really like questions like that. What are the ideal size for a 5'11", 170-pound ectomorph to have? Like, that's subjective. It's like you should just be proud of what you have and proud of your physique. Real bro, how can you do both like kickboxing and gym in the same day while also performing in both of them? Probably do endurance first, but honestly, like if you're trying to build muscle, that's not going to be the most ideal way to go about it. Would you or your brother have a real kickboxing or MMA fight? I don't really enjoy training MMA that much, to be honest, or kickboxing. I do it more for self-improvement. I prefer playing soccer and stuff, so if I don't enjoy it, then why would I really do it? Unless I feel like a calling to go and try it out, I wouldn't do it. I will already go to the gym lifting weights, and I want to start kickboxing with some muscles like anterior delt to be overdeveloped. What? Will I need to do more rear delt, middle delt? You just need to make sure that you're just counteracting the movements you're doing in kickboxing. You're thinking too much of muscles. Should I use traps on a leg extension? I don't program leg extensions, but if you're on a leg extension, why not, I guess. Someone asked incline bench press. If you want to get better at incline dumbbell bench press, do more incline dumbbell bench press. Any tips for growing on YouTube? I mentioned this earlier. It's like, I think a big thing with YouTube growth is mindset. Making sure that you go into it with the not only just self-belief, but the intention of making it work rather than just trying it out, because then you're not going to approach it the way you need to approach it. What exercises can I do to get a head start in judo? It's not exercises. It's a program in general, like making sure that you increase your general strength, your general endurance is probably going to be the best start. Do you support Chelsea? Yes, I do. Where's my scarf? I have a scarf. Oh, yeah. Here's my scarf. I got this when Chelsea won the Champions League final. I got to hang it up back here. Geez, some of these are going fast. I lost track of where I was at, but I see a donation. Appreciate it, I guess yes for the $2 donation. Didn't ask a question, but appreciate that. Oh, yeah, I think I caught up. Wait, you keep saying the prime mover in the bottom part of the lateral raise is the shoulder extensors? I never said that. Shoulder extensors? Why would the shoulder extensors be involved in the lateral raise? How can I maximize my height potential? It's 80% genetic, and then after that, just live a healthy lifestyle. Favorite UFC fighters at the moment? Probably Ilia Topuria, Oliveira, Leon Edwards, and then I like Dricus Supasi a little bit. What is the best rehab exercise can I do for developing shoulder injury? The one that, I mean, you can't, there's, like I said, like a lot of people want a best exercise. Like if it was just cookie cutter like that, then life would be easy, but it's not. It depends on your situation. How do I increase my confidence as a late bloomer? I would ask my brother Mario about that one, but you need to learn to accept who you are now. Someone asked me to post kickboxing. This is not a kickboxing channel. This is a fitness channel. There's a couple people asking questions that I already answered. Like they're re-asking questions I already answered. Thoughts on training the fasted to burn fat and lean bulk after workouts at the same time? Well, fasting is not going to burn more fat, and fasted cardio is not going to burn more fat. It's just calories in, calories out. It's just a good method to eat less, but it's nothing crazy like that. Who's bigger, you or Mario? Mario's bigger than me. Should you go to the gym after practice? Unsure. I mean, what are your goals? Like it's just very, very broad question. Is being stuck at the same rep and intensity of a particular gym exercise for 2 weeks normal? I don't know. Not really. For a beginner, no. I ate pizza for lunch. Does that mean I'm going to die? Yes. How to deal with back pain? Again, that's like a very broad question. There's no black and white answer for those. I wish I could give you, okay, this is what you do, but it just doesn't work like that. Who's winning, Hamza or DDP? I would say DDP is going to win. How often do you hard spar? Um, used to do it once a week, but I don't really do that much anymore. What is your max pull-ups? I'm not sure. I haven't tested that. Yeah, well, in the vids, it's more like, attention grabbing. Here, it's just chill. Oh, slow mode? Oh, yeah, I probably should put that. Let's see if I can put that. Slow mode. Customization. Oh, here you go. Slow mode. 10 seconds. Appreciate whoever told me that. Let's see. All right, we're going to try that out. I'm going to go all the way down and just catch up. Someone asked about like a lat imbalance from doing pull-ups. If there's a lat imbalance, then do unilateral work. If you go to the gym 3 days per week, ideally you want to be doing a full body workout split. How do you get around caring about what people think about you when making content, especially people you know in real life from school that will find your content? I think a lot of it comes down to just self-belief when you're doing it. And then also part of it is like maybe just keep your content just private for a while. That's what my brother did. And that's what I did for a little bit. You don't got to go around telling people that you make content. Can 14-year-olds take it? Can they? Yes. Should they? Probably not. What's your thoughts about music on the gym? If that just makes it easier for you to go, then that's cool. Do you still train MMA? Not very frequently, no. Is there a perfect body type for fighting? I would say I would say skinnier builds that are muscular. Like I would say Leon Edwards has a very good body type, but it also depends on your style too. Do you think that the fact that most of your content comes from shorts leads to lacking nuance? It seems like you and your brother often make broad statements which are heavily context developed. It can be just difficult to get a point across on shorts. That is a problem. Is there any machine in the gym that you like? It really depends on like your entire workout plan in general, I would say. Is jump rope overrated or underrated? Depending on who it's for, but I would say probably underrated. Will full core stability workout be able to grow the abs, or do you still need direct ab work to grow the abs? I think you need to get a goal. If your goal is to build your abs, then do dynamic. If your goal is to build core stability, do static. It's like pretty simple. Pick one, but I think you should be doing both anyways. I have a little knee valgus. Can I still do squat, but just make sure my knees stick out? I'm not going to give you advice on that because I'm not a medical professional. So, yeah, I'm going to probably restrain from that because I don't want to give you bad advice. If you got Ilya or Charles, I think Ilya's going to win. Is it fine if I do standing overhead press and seat overhead press in the same workout? I'm not your dad. Like, you can do whatever you want, but yeah, go ahead and just do what you want. Like, you can do, like, is it fine? Like, if you use machines, like, I'm not your dad. You can do machines if you want to. When you walk outside, do you go barefoot or walk with shoes? I walk with shoes. How long does it take to fix an imbalance? Usually it depends on how severe the imbalance is. You can only choose 10 exercises for the rest of your life. What would I do? It would just be the foundational movements. Make sure I do rotation. Make sure I work anti-rotation. Probably incorporate like a carry, or if you count walking or running as an exercise, probably do that. What do you think about muscle ups as a plyometric exercise? I mean, if you want to, but I wouldn't really consider that a plyometric because it does involve a lot of strength. I'd probably use lighter loads. That's probably too high of a load to improve power, at least at an optimal level. How to balance MMA and weightlifting each week like a split? You have to pick one to prioritize. Thoughts on Dominic Reyes' physique? He has a really long torso. It looks kind of funny. How important is the strength to mass ratio? It depends on what your goal is. Is only training power fine? If you don't have a good level of general strength, then you're not going to get much out of it. Are full body workouts good? Yeah, they're good. Geez, a lot of questions are coming in. Should athletes train low volume? It depends on what part of the season you're in and what your goals are. Like a lot of you are asking like super broad questions, and a lot of it, like again, I wish I could tell you like exactly the answer you're looking for, but it depends. A lot of it depends. Are full body workouts good? Yes. Yeah, but even if you're a calisthenics athlete and you can do muscle ups, it's like a lot of the times, like it's going to be better to use lighter loads and move faster. What is the reason why someone has knockout power and someone doesn't? It's because the anaerobic systems are highly genetic. Um, let's see. Are stair runs good for your knees? I wouldn't think they're bad, but of course, like you have to consider form, technique, volume. Do bodyweight high rep training work for muscle building? Yeah, it works. Yes. Do you think uni is worth it? It depends on what you're going there for. Let me see if I can even put this on even slower mode, because I'm struggling to read all these questions. Let's see. Let's do. Oh, I see. Yeah, we're gonna want to do that way longer, like 30 seconds. Shane Nurmagomedov or Khabib Nurmagomedov or Nurmagomedov? Probably Khabib. What camera and mic do you use for your shorts? I use like a Sony camera and then a shotgun Rode mic. Geez, these questions are still coming. What do you think of your brother's new content? I think his content is very good and it impacts a lot of people. How do you do a deload week? I made a video on deload week. What kind of cardio do you recommend for athletes? Well, it depends on what portion of the season you're in. If you're preparing for a fight, it'll be different. If you're in the off season, it'll be different. What is your leg day looking like right now? A lot of unilateral work, a lot of accessory exercises to help with my posture. What do you consider normal progress for pull-ups? Don't really understand that. I think it's back on. Okay, I think it's working again. My internet freaking sucks. Um, let me know if it's working. Your question. Sounds like I'm back. Okay. Um, probably stay on for another like 10 minutes or so. What stretches do you do before your workouts? I don't do any stretches. Stretches are not good before you work out, or at least static stretches. Athletes 5 sessions in off season with 5 skill sessions. I would say that's too much. If you're doing 5 skill sessions that are probably aerobically taxing to some degree, yeah, probably not. Mm. Best advice for young men. Um, I would say find God. I would say it's probably the best one. Would being flexible tie into health? Probably just joint health to some degree, yeah. Do I need isolation exercise for glute muscles? Probably not, but again, it depends on your situation if you have weaker muscles or not. But for overall development, probably not. Is cardio good before a workout? I mean, a little bit. Low intensity can be, but if your goal is to build a lot of muscle and you're doing high volume, no. What is the solution of tight calves? Um, Stretch your calves or any sort of like mobility work for your calves. Jogging isn't pointless. Yeah, light jogging isn't pointless. Will creatine help with weight gain? Yes. Do I put power cleans or hand cleans into your workouts? Not very often, just because it does require a lot of technique. How tall am I? I'm like 5'11". To get your first pull-ups, you do bulk or cut. Well, that doesn't matter if you don't actually train. Hex bar or squats for jiu-jitsu? Both. I want to increase my vertical. Would just leg strength exercises plus plyometrics be the way to go? Yeah, but also like heavy eccentrics and things like that. How many years have I been lifting? I believe I'm on 7. Yeah, you asked the hypertrophy block. I said it would, but I would say strength is probably better. What are your goals with fitness? Probably just to become the healthiest version of myself, I would say. How do I do an endurance block of training? That would take me about an hour to explain. How slow should the eccentric be? Oh, depending on like what are your goals? Oh, I'm glad you enjoy the content. Can you combine aerobic training and power training on the same day? You can. Is it beneficial? Probably not. It's not the best way to go about it. You're not going to get enough volume or intensity. Do you ever text your maxes? No. Should beginners focus on free weights or machines? I mean, you can do machines at the beginning just to learn how to recruit your muscles, but you should eventually work off of them. You can still consider jogging bad. If you're trying to be a better jogger, sure. If you're not, then walking or light intensity jogging is better. What's better, frequency or volume? I mean, volume and frequency are going to be different things. I wouldn't necessarily say one is better or the other. Are you talking about how much you do in a workout? Probably frequency. Should you do power training while in a strength block? You can, but you can't do it very often because they're both really taxing to the central nervous system. So you can only do them probably twice per week, max, maybe 3. Best advice for 18-year-olds: take some time to figure out what you want to do and what your purpose is. Do you have a muscular endurance program in your academy? Not a muscular endurance, but I would say a lot with the muscular endurance is just a pure general endurance program, which I'm gonna add. I worked on that today. Does jogging decrease fast twitch muscle fibers? No. Can I target all my back muscles with dumbbells only? You probably can, but you probably want to be doing pull-ups, or you can't really do a vertical pull, so probably not. Should athletes do isolation or is compounds enough? I mean, it depends, right? Like again, it's tough because it depends. Do you have a glaring weak point? Is there a particular muscle that you need to hit for your sport? Like it depends. What's my diet? I like to prioritize fruit and then I like steaks. What's your opinion on TNF? I mean, I don't really there's not really much of an opinion. I think his training style is retarded, but not necessarily like anything bad. Would a 3 or 4 day split be best for athletes? It depends on what phase of the season you are. I know it sounds kinda like a broken record, but it depends, right? Like, there's just no black and white answer. So I wish I could give you the right answer, but why is TNF training bad? Because he prioritizes a lot of machines, a lot of lazy exercises. That's not gonna help you be healthier and more athletic. Well, just lifting weights between 6 and 12, if you wanna benefit your joints, you're gonna want probably you wanna train a variety, to be honest. You wanna train fast sometimes, you wanna train slow with heavy eccentrics. Should you bully a beginner for being lazy for using machines? No, you shouldn't bully him. Are there any celebs or fitness YouTubers you really think are really natural? Um, again, that's like super broad. I'm not really too involved in the fitness space, to be honest. Like, I don't really watch fitness content or anything like that. Do you static stretch consistently? No. I think that's a waste of time. Will running at 150 heart rate range kill your gains? It's not cardio doesn't kill your gains directly. It's how you program cardio that will indirectly cause lower gains, but it doesn't kill your gains directly. Yeah, I will react to Jeff Nippard's lower body. Should you perform static stretching before performing boxing training? Yeah, if you want to decrease your power and muscle performance. What is better for a V taper, wide grip versus normal grip pull-ups, lat pull downs? It doesn't matter. You want to do a variety anyways. Best exercise for a wrestler? There is no best exercise. A great, how to phrase this? A great way to improve your athleticism is to have a great overall program. Do you like rugby? No. Should I do farmer carries on leg or upper body day? It depends on like how your workouts are structured, but I like to do it on my leg day. How can I implement 4 times gym, 2 times MMA, and basketball in a week with accessory work like cardio, et cetera? Again, that's like a super broad, like I need to go like super specific on that, and I cannot really do that in like 30 seconds. Do you support Chelsea or West Ham? I support Chelsea. I have heard about fascia training. I think a lot of it is guru stuff. Fascia is really important, but like these like particular methods to work on your fascia. Like your fascia is gonna be involved when you're weightlifting, when you're doing plyometrics and stuff. So I don't think like there's like some specific fascia training that is like so effective or whatever. But fascia is important, but Ronaldo or Messi, that's a stupid question. Messi's so much better. What is better, tricep kickback or skull crushers? They both work the triceps from a different position. Is Ashton Hall natty? I don't think he is. Can you combine calisthenics, athletics, powerlifting, bodybuilding, endurance? You can. Is it the most effective way? Probably not. Do you do MMA? I do mostly kickboxing whenever I do train combat sports. I mentioned this earlier. I think Drake is Duplessis will win. Yeah, I think Islam is ducking to Poria. It sucks because I would have liked to have watched that fight. Are isometrics worth it for hypertrophy? No. How often should you up the weight as a beginner? As often as you can. Is Maxi a natty? No, I don't think he is. He had that like crazy acne outbreak. I think I forgot they leaked who Leon. I think uh, that Leon's gonna fight Morales. I think. Do I have Usman or Joaquin Buckley? Probably Joaquin Buckley. I would say. Is a 4 pack still considered an athletic look? Again, that's kind of objectives or subjective, so I'm not gonna answer that. bro split or full body. I don't think that's a fair comparison because one of them is 3 days per week and one of them is 5. Do you think doing the military press both hands better than just doing with one? I think they both have their advantages and disadvantages. Who you got between Taporia and Islam? I think Taporia would win. How many days a week should I start MMA? Go to the gym 5 times per week? Probably not very often. Probably like 3 times per week, maybe 2. Could you be friends with someone who only trains with machines? Yeah. What was your reaction to Bilal versus JDM? I was just pissed that we don't get to see Taporia versus Makhachev. See, someone said, "Are jump squats as good for your legs as free weight squats?" Like, what are you trying to accomplish? They both have different. They're both used for different reasons. How often do you recommend doing hit training? Again, it's tough. It depends on your entire workout routine. There are taxing. So if you're only doing hit, probably like 3 times per week. How can you balance soccer training and weight training? It's like every other kind of thing I say. You have to pick one that you prioritize and then have a secondary goal. Are soreness after training boxing normal? Probably, but it depends on the frequency and stuff. But I wouldn't overthink that. Do you think John Jones will fight Tom Aspinall? No. Yeah, see, someone asked about periodizing MMA athletes. That could take me like an hour to explain. So just not gonna be able to do that here, unfortunately. Favorite lift of the big three? Mm, I don't know. That one's tough. What do you think about FitX Furious? Is he helping young men or just humiliating them? I think he has some good advice and some bad. Opinion of gymnastic ring training. I mean, if you want to do it, that's probably good. Could you beat up Bradley Martin hypothetically? Probably not. Is David Lay natty? No. But I'm not really into that fitness drama. What can you combine in a strength block in 3-day split? Like, can I add plyometrics or aerobic cardio? You can pick one or the other, probably. Have one day where you focus on one or the other. But if you do that, you probably should only be training strength twice per week. I think that John Jones would be Aspinall. Best ab workouts for skinny people, it's gonna be the same as for a fat person. Do you actually hate science-based lifting? I don't wouldn't say I hate science-based lifting, but I don't think it's I think the mentality that they use and the way that they use research is not great. It also doesn't promote fitness and health. Your thoughts on TRT? I think the people who are taking TRT, so people in their 20s, it's just so stupid. Top 5 subs, probably creatine, vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, and aspartate. Probably just those 3. Do you ever think of having a personal conversation with Jeffrey? I mean, probably wouldn't be able to, but I don't hate Jeffrey. I don't like him either. I don't know him. Will you ever collab with TNF? I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't know what we would collab on. We disagree on so many things. Hey man, is a personal training certification worth it? Is the information outdated? I would say some of the information is outdated, but I would say it depends on what you wanna do. If you wanna train, then it'd probably be a good idea because then you actually have a certification and it'll be easier for you to get a job. But just make sure that you don't only learn from that, learn from a variety of different things. Buy some books, buy different textbooks, look up information, things like that. Would I look into other religions like Islam? No, I think Christianity is the truth. What is my favorite muscle group to train? I like training back. JDM or Islam prediction, probably I would probably take a little bit longer to predict it because whenever Topuria was about to fight Volkanovski, I didn't know who I thought was gonna win, but then, like, a month before, I was like, "Oh, I know who he's gonna win." So, I like to wait a little bit closer up to the fight. I mentioned my thoughts on Hussein earlier. Hi, bro, love your content, appreciate it. Is your balanced video of sport and lifting Mario made a good video on how you should train before you make your first basketball team? Um, Again, it's something that you need to recognize. It's like if you're going before basketball, I would probably focus more on aerobic conditioning. That's just me though. Thoughts on ashwagandha? I think it's a good supplement. What do I think of Dr. Marlin? I think his advice sucks, but I don't know him personally. He's probably a nice guy. How much exercise should I do in a workout? If it's not much, can I train strength in the mornings, endurance and power in the evenings? Trying to do strength and power is going to be so taxing on your nervous system. That's such a bad idea, especially on the same day. What content you watch? I like to read. Do you know Bedtime MMA? I don't know him, no. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know him. Is creatine HMB worth it? I found a lot of progress, so I would recommend it. What's your PR vertical jump? I don't know. What quad exercise should I do for athleticism? I have bad knees. For athleticism, or are you trying to fix your knees? What do you think about deload weights? Are they necessary? I think that it depends on your workout program. I'm not really like if you're fatigued and stuff, yeah, I think they can happen, especially for athletes too who are working pretty hard. I personally don't schedule deloads. I just use whenever I find that I'm more fatigued, I'll take it. But sometimes you can even have like deload sessions. You don't even have a deload week. What's the physique for if I want to be a fighter but still strong? Well, if you want to be a fighter, you should probably focus more on skills and not physique necessarily. Because you can't really change your physique that much in terms of proportions, right? That's genetic. Book recommendations, please. I have a ton of books that I read. What your book of the month? Last time I did the book called The Confident Mind. What's that type of stuff do you read? I read a lot of strength and conditioning stuff, obviously, to make sure that I'm learning a bunch of stuff because just because I'm not a student anymore doesn't mean I shouldn't continue to learn things. And then a lot of mindset stuff and self improvement stuff. What do you think about Shane Dom or Dirk? Pretty much the same thing as all the other influencers. I don't think badly of them. There are times I don't agree with them, and there are times I do. Is Gregor McConnor juiced up? I think he is. Soccer training plan, again, that's super broad. It depends on what your strength and condition, like strengths and weaknesses are. Like, if there was a cookie cutter plan, like I would love to give it to you, but it just doesn't really work that way. How should I do? Don't do cardio if I train weights 6 days per week. You're not going to get much out of it. And if you do zone two cardio, it's going to impact the gains that you make on that day because it impacts protein synthesis. So you have to pick do like an endurance block or something like that. Do you have workouts for basketball athleticism? I do mostly one-on-one coaching if I work with athletes, just because it has to be pretty personalized. Who's worse in your opinion, Jeffrey or Marlon? I think Dr. Marlon's worse in terms of advice. If I had to choose long bicep or short bicep, why? I would choose long. I think short biceps look kind of bad especially if they're too short, just because it looks like there's nothing there. Any advice for a sports science student in university? I wasn't the best student, so I'm probably not the right guy to ask. What do you think of resistance bands? I think they're good for core work and they're good for warming up and as well as like shoulder work, upper back strength and stuff like for warm ups, but not for building muscle. Probably not. Do you like weighted vests? If it's a good way to load up your calisthenics, then yes. Supersets when you're short on time for the gym. I like to superset with core exercises. Best muscle for top speed. Mm, that was a tough one. There's just a lot of groups. I don't really think of it as muscles. Have you seen Dr. Mike's Marlon's new pull-up video? I have not, but I think that's a stupid video. It's like there really isn't that many different pull-up variations you can do. You can just alter the grip, um, alter the width of the grip, pretty much it. How many pull-ups can you do? I haven't done them in a little bit, but when I tried to do it for a lot of reps, I did like up to like 16 to 20, I believe. What fights in the UFC are you looking forward to the most? Taporia, Oliveira, and Duplessis and Chimaev. How to increase my bench press? Do the bench press. Your thoughts on training muscle group 3 times per week, is it better than twice a week? I'm pretty sure the research shows that it doesn't make that much of a difference. Should I include my incline cardio 5 times a week for weight loss? If your goal is weight loss, then you don't need cardio. I think cardio is good for general health and improving endurance, but when it comes to weight loss, then you don't need cardio. You should eat at a deficit. But like walking can be a very beneficial form of cardio just to help keep the calories down, but shouldn't be doing anything that intense. Is buying an air fryer worth it? I would say it is. It's just really convenient. It makes it easier to eat healthier. Is it bad if I do weight training and MMA in the same day? It's not bad, but if your goal is muscle growth, it's probably not ideal. But if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. What's a good distance for sprints to build athleticism? What is your goal? Like, are you sprinting to get good at sprinting, or are you trying to do anaerobic stuff? What's your favorite TV show? Friends is my favorite TV show. What opinion on Santa Cruz Medicinals? I don't know him, so I'm not gonna make any, or I don't know him personally, so I'm not gonna make any assumptions on him. How much weight do you do when you rep pull-ups? It depends on the rep range. Yeah, you say your biceps are tired after your back workouts. I don't find that my biceps really get that tired. You might be struggling to recruit your biceps properly or your back properly. What's your favorite exercise for building biceps? I personally like free weights for arms. I don't know why. Or at least for biceps. I just find that I feel my biceps more. I just like standard dumbbell curls. What's your favorite UFC event or fight of all time? I would say UFC 269 was the best event. All right, I'm gonna answer questions for like a few more minutes and then go ahead and end the stream. Someone asked about the preacher curl. I think it's just good to train in a variety of different positions, but you shouldn't overdo stretches. W stream, appreciate it. Can you suggest some book about strength and conditioning? Like the Essentials of Strength and Conditioning is a good place to start. Who should win the Ballon d'Or? Probably maybe like Dembele, I would say. Uh, I guess Pata, appreciate the donation. Love the message you and your brother promote. Hate the fake Hollywood smile celebrities have. Why can't they eat right and actually brush your teeth? I don't really notice the fake smiles, but I notice a lot of people have veneers, and I think veneers can look good, but some people just don't get their jaw fixed and it looks bad, or their teeth are too white. Any tips for font delt recovery? Um, I don't know what you mean by that. What do you think of perms? I've never gone to perm. Don't know anyone personally, at least that's let me know that they've had a perm, but if it helps you look better and more confident, then sure. Where are you from? I'm from Texas. Love you, Martine. Love you too. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier, Kevin. I think that Taporia is going to win. How to eat enough protein while being in a caloric deficit? You're going to want to have leaner sources of protein, most likely, and then protein shakes are going to be your best friend on that. How much time should a workout take? I always say an hour plus or minus 15 minutes of high intensity work, right? Not warm ups. Warm up doesn't count. What's your favorite martial art for MMA? I think kickboxing is the most fun one. Are you going to UFC San Antonio? No. If my push strength is significantly weaker than my pull and leg strength, should I replace one of my leg days with another pull day? Well, your bench press strength is gonna be lower. It's just how it is. What's your morning routine? My morning routine depends on the day, but normally I'll wake up, make like a protein shake, and drink some water. And I make a protein shake because I go work out, so I make sure I include protein and carbs, so like fruit. Then I go and like get my hair wet so I don't look like a ragamuffin when I go to the gym. Then get ready to go to the gym and then go to the gym. Is there a specific amount of weight you on squats if you want to squat more than the weight you need to wear a belt? Don't really understand that question. Maybe I read it wrong. You're growing a beard too? I'm trying. I'm getting kind of close. Yeah, I think boxing is boring to watch. I think it's because the gloves are too big and you don't even know when people land. Well, you make a full video on Hussein? No, I'm not gonna make videos on this drama stuff. I just don't really think that's what I want to make content on. I don't want to be like Greg Doucette. Have I watched Breaking Bad? No. Is MMA zone two cardio? Probably not. To be honest, maybe sometimes you get up there, but not consistent enough to where you're going to get serious aerobic adaptations, and you're not going to be there for long enough. Any shoulder recovery tips? Maybe probably go and see a professional about that. You're gonna make a video on Jeffrey's leg workout? Yes, I am. Is 400 pounds at 15 good? Yes, very good. If forearms are small, need help. If your forearms are small, they're small. But if you want to incorporate some forearm work, you can do that. Some direct work. Thoughts on John Jones? I think he's the greatest fighter ever, but his approach to the fight right now is just not. It's hard for me to back that. Favorite Chelsea player? Moises Caicedo. Top three aesthetic muscle groups: back, shoulders, abs. I would say. Thoughts on the upper lower split for a 4 day per week split? I think it's great. You can even do five. Ronaldo or Messi? I always say that's a stupid question. It's Messi, not even a question. Fast reps versus slow reps. I mean, if you're just keeping enough tension, so if your sets are anything from 2 to 8 seconds, you're good to go. What do you think about your brother's new arc? I think he's making great educational and impactful content. Respect from Serbia. Hello, Serbia. I'm on a deficit and my scale stopped going down, but my waist is getting smaller. Is that normal? Possibly. What do you tell clients who struggle with staying consistent? I always tell them about like the atomic habit tips. It's a book called Atomic Habits. And I also tell them to start small. Like you don't got to go to the gym like 5 or 6 times a week. Just go like 2 to 3 times a week, maybe four. Keep it small. Keep it something that's manageable. Any tips on increasing testosterone? I made a video on that. What do I do with cravings when cutting? I think diet sodas can be good. I just wouldn't go too crazy. Do you like the standing bench press? You mean the overhead press? Yes. Oh yeah, someone asked about my clips from months ago. My gym is recording, so like I don't have the ability to record every single workout. So that's why. Thoughts on eating late? I think it can impact your sleep. I try not to eat like at least 2 hours before bed. See, someone asked, "What's the most important for Greco-Roman wrestling?" Like, what does that even? I don't understand what that question. Calling Jeff Nipper Jeffrey Nipples is super funny, bro. I appreciate that. My brother came up with that one. Do you recommend stretching for recovery? Yeah, I guess it can help a little bit, but I don't think it would make much of a difference. How much can you bench press? I haven't bench pressed in a while because I'm doing my rehab, but I was doing like 225 for like 6 to 8 reps. Oh, my mic is fading away. Yeah, my mic just sucks, but I gotta get it better. I don't have, like, streaming equipment, so I don't have the best setup here. Alright, I'm gonna go for another 2 more minutes because then it'll be an hour and 10 minutes of streaming. How much money do you make? I'm not gonna get into that. It also fluctuates a lot, like, just like anything for an entrepreneur is gonna fluctuate. Yeah, I mentioned before, I'm not gonna make a video about Hussein's steroid use because I'm just not trying to get into that drama space. Like, I'm not gonna be like a fitness drama YouTuber or anything like that. Uh, how much can you barbell squat and deadlift? Well, before I did my rehab program, I was doing 3 plates for 8 reps of squat. Deadlift depends on if I wear a belt or not, but if I wear a belt, it'll be over 4 plates for reps. But, is life going? Life's going great. Moises Caicedo or Messi? Moises Caicedo. Do I listen to music? Yeah, my music sucks though because I hate looking for new songs. You make vlogs with your brother Mario. The vlogs don't do as well because, like, a lot of people don't subscribe to vlogs. Will you do another full day of eating or training? Probably in the future, yeah. Right now, I'm doing a rehab program, so it's, again, not the easiest to record stuff, and then, again, my gym doesn't let me record, like, there strict recording rules, so it's hard for me to record there. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off the stream now, but I appreciate you all joining the stream. Good amount of you guys joined, so maybe I'll do some more streams in the future. So, see you guys later.